Welcome to this exciting storybook explainer. Today, we're uncovering a truly fascinating piece of history about a very special baby and a highly respected, super wise saint. If you love a great story packed with a massive lesson, well, you are definitely in for a treat today. Let's get right into it.
But first, just imagine this for a second. What would you do if you had to travel for months across an entire country, facing all sorts of crazy hardships along the way, just to test a newborn baby's wisdom? I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a fairy tale, right? But believe it or not, this actually happened. Our explainer kicks off a long time ago, specifically in the year 1666 AD. At the time, Guru Tegh Bahadur was away on a massive tour across India. He was out there speaking to frightened and oppressed people, doing his absolute best to help them break free from tyranny. Practically everyone across the country, young and old, knew exactly who he was. And you know what's really cool? This whole adventure comes directly from a real historical text. It's an account known as the story of far-sighted Bhikhan Shah. So we're going to break down exactly what went down, step by step, almost like we're reading a fable together. So while Guru Tegh Bahadur was traveling far from home, something absolutely wonderful happened. A very special baby named Prince Gobind Rai was born. This was on December 22nd, 1666. And let me tell you, news of the Guru's newborn son did not stay quiet for long. The joy literally spread throughout the entire country like wildfire. Eventually, this amazing news reached a holy man named Pir Bhikhan Shah. Now, the Pir was a highly respected Muslim saint from the village of Garam, and what made him so incredibly special was his heart. He saw both Hindus and Muslims as totally equal. When he heard about the prince, a really strong desire sparked inside him. He just knew he had to see the Guru's newborn son for himself. This wasn't just a quick trip down the street either. The Pir gathered his followers and embarked on an epic journey toward Patna. They faced massive hardships, and it took them 2 whole months to finally get there. But when he arrived and asked to see the baby, he was stopped right at the front door by the baby's fiercely protective uncle, Kerpal Chand. The Pir was so determined, though, that he actually went on a hunger strike. He just squatted right there in front of the door. Finally, after a few intense days, the uncle took pity on him and let him inside. Now, you might be wondering, why did the uncle say no in the first place? Well, Uncle Kerpal Chand was very strict about family traditions. He clearly told the Pir that nobody could even catch a glimpse of the child until the baby's father had seen his son first. And that rule was a huge problem for her wary travelers. Why? Because the baby's father, Guru Tegh Bahadur, was still way out on a tour of Assam. He wasn't coming home anytime soon. But thankfully, like we just saw, compassion won out in the end, and the uncle eventually let the fasting saint inside to see the little prince. Once he got inside, the Pir was absolutely thrilled to see Prince Gobind Rai. But he hadn't spent 2 months on the road just to say a quick hello. No way. He came to perform a secret test to see who this boy would love more as he grew up, Hindus or Muslims. And he was going to do it using just 2 tiny clay pots. Okay, so here's how this mystical test worked. The Pir placed the 2 pots right in front of the newborn baby. One was filled with milk, and the other was filled with water. In his mind, the Pir gave a secret meaning to each pot. The milk represented the Hindus, and the water represented the Muslims. Then he waited, holding his breath, to see which one the baby would reach for. And this next part, it brilliantly shows exactly who this child was. The prince, who already had so much love for everyone, didn't just pick one. Nope. He reached right out and put his little hands on both pots at the exact same time. The Pir instantly understood the message. This boy was going to give equal love and equal respect to both religions. But wait, because the story gets even more amazing. The Pir then called for a 3rd pot and placed that in front of the prince. The little child reached out and placed his right hand right on it. Seeing this, the Pir came to a massive realization. He realized that because the boy had such equal respect for the 2 groups, he would eventually go on to create a brand new 3rd faith. So, the secret test was a total success. The holy man's wish was fulfilled, and he happily packed up and went back to his home in Garam with his followers. And the best part? That connection didn't just end there. Several years later, while making a journey from Patna to Anandpur, Prince Gobind Rai actually stopped for a night in Garam just to visit his old friend, the Pir.
The biggest takeaway from our historical explainer today is a really beautiful moral. True greatness, it means loving and respecting all people equally, no matter their background, no matter who they are. Just like the little prince reaching out to both of those pots, we should be extending our love to everyone.
All right, now let's see how well you've been paying attention to the details of our story today. It's pop quiz time. I'm going to ask you a few quick questions. Ready? Here's question number 1. How long did it take Pir Bhikhan Shah to travel to Patna? If you guessed 2 whole months, you are absolutely right. He and his followers went through some really severe hardships for 2 entire months on the road, all just for a single glimpse of the child. Now that is some serious dedication. Okay, let's move on to our next question. Let's see if you remember the big obstacle at the front door. When the Pir finally arrived, super exhausted from his trip, why did Uncle Kerpal Chand initially say no to letting him inside? Excellent listening. The uncle was simply following the rules. He insisted that nobody could get a glimpse of the child as long as the father hadn't seen his son first. And since Guru Tegh Bahadur was far away preaching in Assam, those doors stayed closed. Luckily, a hunger strike and a little bit of compassion changed his mind. All right, here is the absolute most important question about the Pir's secret test of wisdom. When he set the 2 small earthen pots in front of Prince Gobind Rai, what exactly did the milk and the water represent in his mind?
Spot on. The milk represented the Hindus, and the water represented the Muslims. They basically stood for different groups of people. And by touching both, the prince proved that he had totally equal love and respect for everyone.
You guys did fantastic today. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final, powerful question to think about as you go through the rest of your day. What small act of kindness and respect can you do today to be a little bit more like the prince? How can you show equal love to the people around you? Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one. Keep learning and keep being kind.